Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am your own guys. I'm fine. If not, I'll just see it now. Mermaid, I will be you. Hello, Erica. Baby bird made it in. I don't know if anybody can do it. Jack and Robin. Hey, I haven't seen you around this day. Robin, how you doing? Hey, Robin.
I'll start all over. Good morning. Welcome to the channel. How is everyone doing? I'm back. I thought I had all of that taken care of, and I guess I didn't. That's all right, but it's Baby Friday. We almost made it. It's been crazy. It's been a true crime typhoon. I'm sure I've overused that term by now, but that's okay. Let's see who's in here. Wist made it in. Hello, Lala. Pointer Lover, how are you? Lisa made it in. Oksana is here. Hello, Tasha. Arlene. Sugar Angel, how are you? Ashley's here. Jeannie made it in. I've been chatting with Jeannie before on Messenger. Mel O made it in. Big T. Jonesy, good morning. Hope everyone has had a great week, is making it through. In a few weeks, our houses are going to look empty again because there won't be any presents under the tree. There won't be all the flashing lights at us and stuff like that. So I guess we just make the best out of it while we can. Yeah, the sound coming in, I thought I had that fixed. There's a delay from StreamYard to YouTube. I believe it's like 7 seconds from what I understand. I don't know how to fix the gap. So what I've been doing is during the music, I put myself in and then I get out. So I do all that before the show even starts. But today, I guess I did it too fast. Well, thank you very much, Replay. I appreciate that. You have no idea. And the sound thing kind of throws off my game if you really want to know the truth. It's so damn inconvenient. I start out saying genius things and then I have to start all over. Nobody's got time for that. By the way, I see a bunch of new names in here. A bunch of new names. So if you could be so kind as to hit the sub button, don't forget to get reminded, because I know a lot of people will message me after the show or sometimes message me during the show and say, when are you going live again? And I'm like, we're live right now. Oh, I didn't get a reminder. So whatever you have to do on your end, let's do it. So again, with this case, I had to edit the title, edit the thumbnail. I thought I had everything worked out for today, and lo and behold, as I've said before, this case is like a toddler. You can't keep your eyes off of it. It's insane. I really thought after the police said we're not giving any more information, we didn't give out the information that was blasted out over the weekend. I thought, okay, things are going to calm down. Things are going to calm down. And it's just going to be update as needed. Then, close my eyes, go to sleep, wake up. What do we have but body cam footage? Body cam footage, and we're looking for a Hyundai. A Honda Elantra, white, 2011 to 2013. Pat says when you edit the title, it takes away the notification. So what should I do? If I have to edit the title, should I put something on the community tab and tell everybody? Let's think about that, Pat. Let's all put our minds together. So we got hit with all of that yesterday. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in this case. First, I'm going to go through some comments, then we're going to start checking off the boxes like we always do. I have pinned the link. Don't be shy. Come up and talk with me. I will ask, we have had a little bit of a troll problem lately. I think I have my own can of Raid now for trolls. So when you pop backstage, I don't need to see if you're having a good hair day or not. I'm not curious as to what your house looks like. I'm not checking to see what you're eating for breakfast. I just need to make sure you're a real person and that you're a real person that we want to talk to, that can sit with us, if you know what I mean. Like Grana of 5, who just became a new YouTube member. Thank you very much, Grana of 5. Make sure you check the members tab on the channel. I keep it updated as much as possible. And we have great members' lives, if I must say so myself. If I say so myself, we have a lot of fun in our members' lives. So, you will not be on camera up on the panel. Just show me backstage who you are. We're going to do it that way. So, let's get to comments. And then we're going to start going through all of the insanity that poured out overnight. Okay, Cher, and not that Cher. This is not the host of another show. Cher said, "Of course not!" Exclamation mark. Maddie was not joking. He was probably harassing them at the corner club and followed them on his own. Why did the tape resurface? Hello, everyone missed the FU earlier on. Plus, you still missed the part where Hoodie Guy almost trips Kaylee. Okay, normally I'm not like this, but not today, ridiculous. All right, I'm going to look at the clip again. I think that Maddie is joking when she points and says, F you, mister. This woman does not think so, and that's okay. We can see things differently. Here's a spoiler alert. When we go through the body cam, it's going to be Kylie Rodney and the Fire Cam 2.0. I thought you guys were going to kill me. I was the one going, I see something moving, but I don't know what it is. I can't say it's a car. You're going to get basically the same replay. You can't depend on my eyes. You can't depend on my eyes. So we're going to look at it again. To me, I don't think she's mad because, for one, Kaylee doesn't seem to be too concerned about the confrontation. I could be wrong. And also, I don't think an F you, mister, leads to mass murder. That's just me. That's one of the great things about this community, is because we can see things a different way and talk about it, and we're still cool with each other.
Get enhanced video of the confrontation between two of the University of Idaho murder victims and another student at a food truck. The time, 1:30 a.m., just hours before the murders. Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan stopped for mac and cheese after partying at a nearby bar.
Everybody seemed like in good spirits, nothing seemed off. And then they start interacting with a couple other people. They're waiting for their food.
Now look at this. Video shows Madison pointing at a man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says. Police have already...
Blank you, mister, she says. She sure did. Let's look at it again. Now, as they're going around the corner, it looks like Kaylee's taking a video of her, and they leave the guy behind. I don't see Kaylee going, how dare you talk to my friend that way? Hey, Madison, what happened? I was just ordering the habanero or whatever. I missed what happened. To me, it's like she's joking with the guy, and then they take off running to their ride share. Hang on. Tomorrow I could see it a different way, and I could be on here going, hey guys, did you hear her say F you, mister?
Man in a hoodie who appeared to have followed them to the truck. We had the video and audio from the clip enhanced, and you can hear her using an expletive. Blank you, mister, she says. Police have already announced they have cleared the young man in the hoodie. Audio engineer.
All right, so maybe she was super mad at him. I don't know. Lala says they're just playing at Cool Brooks. They wanted to get away from him. A lot of people said he was creepy. They ran away from him. So now my question is, whatever that confrontation was at the food truck where she says, F you, mister, because I don't know what he said to her. I don't know this dude. I know he likes to hunt. If you're a hunter, by the way, please take down all your pictures. Now is not the time to brag about deer, elk, fish, or anything. That's between me and you guys. If you're a hunter, now's the time to take it down. I don't know what was said to her before, and she said, F you, mister. The mister is what makes me think she's joking around, because I don't think that she would call him a mister, if you know what I mean. I think there might have been another word in there. Some people don't even think she's pointing at him. They think she's pointing at someone else. And then they dip out. So now my question is, because I don't know this guy, do you think that he would go and commit mass murder because they left him behind at the food truck? I don't know. I'm just saying, on my end, it looks to me like she's joking with him. That's just what it looks like on my end. Okay, Harper Grace. By the way, if I showcase your after show comment, send me an email. You'll find out why. Harper Grace said the fact that they don't know where Ethan and Xana were for that many hours says a lot. And did the frat president say her name first, not his? I caught that too. We're going to go through that again. I caught a lot from the president. The president. We've never gotten to talk to the president before. We're so happy that we got to talk to the president of the frat. I could not believe they were greasing his wheels that way. But whatever. I heard him say they knew Xana. He knew Xana before. That's how I took it as well. But I will say that to me, it is a big deal that they still are asking where Ethan and Xana were for that many hours. They still want to know. They haven't said, hey, you know what? We're good. We've sized it up. They're still saying we want to know. Aaron Snell said they were seen at the party between 8 and 9. So they show up to the party. What made them leave the party? I'm just going to assume kids haven't changed that much since I was one. You go to a party, you're there for the party. You don't do a walkthrough and leave. And then people not know where you're at. Bama Skin said, Brooks, I think Joe was being more disrespectful than he admits to on his videos, but she's not mad, in my opinion. I think Joe on his TikTok he had a real bad taste in his mouth about the girls. He seemed to be very judgmental to me. Gina said, where is the corner bar footage? That's what I want to know. If Kaylee's the target, where's the corner bar footage? The police aren't asking for that. So I'm going to assume that the police have it and there's nothing there because they're not asking for it. They're not asking for that. We want to know what happened at the corner bar. But they are asking what went on after they left this frat party. What happened? Still don't know. They're still asking. Okay, so then I got another one of these comments. And like I said, what's today? Thursday. Today's Baby Friday. So when we did the show on Tuesday, I did it later in the day. And I said it was going to be a hard show to do because I was bringing up the question, is Steve hurting or helping the investigation by maybe saying things that are supposed to be not talked about? I don't know. It's just a conversation. So yesterday, Cherry Piss left me a comment and said, there is no reason why the police can't let out more information. You are trying to villainize Kaylee's dad, and he just wants information. It is the public's right to know. Now, hang on. Cherry Piss, I'm not trying to villainize anyone. I never said he's doing anything wrong. I was posing a question. It's a conversation. I'm sure he's extremely frustrated and he wants to know more. I said I think his frustrations are probably more with the university, Cherry Piss, than with the police. I don't believe for a minute that he's under the impression that they're going to tell him everything he knows. Cherry Piss, you live in Louisiana. So you're safe, Cherry Piss. I don't think that the killer in Idaho is going to come find you in Louisiana and do anything to you. So as far as public safety and the public's right to know, you're okay, Cherry Piss. Now, this is my whole thing with letting out too much information or a lot of information. You see, Cherry Piss, criminals follow these cases. Whereas I might miss a few beats and you guys might miss a few beats. You have the FBI, BSU, ISP, and the local law enforcement, Cherry Piss. They have all of these different people and different agencies that are following every little minute detail to keep it under wraps and find out what happened that night. And if they let out one little thing, it can ruin the case, Cherry Piss. Also, criminals like to know when they're going to get caught. So they follow the case very heavily. You have hours, money, resources, people, all of this, Cherry Piss, for what one person did. I just think it's a little irresponsible to let out too much information because it lets the criminal know how long they're going to be out in the free world. I like to keep them guessing. That's just me. That's just how I am, Cherry Piss. So it's not about villainizing Steve. It's just a question. I don't think that all that information needs to be out. But I will say this, and hopefully this stops the argument, and we can move past me picking on Steve, okay, Cherry Piss? Because I have this clip right here, and the end of it is Steve, and what he says here, I think is genius, Cherry Piss. Hang on. Also, I think Mom is genius in this, Cherry Piss. I love what she says.
You're okay. I just don't understand why. How somebody can take somebody, four of them. It wasn't just my girl. Just so savagely.
Is anyone acting differently since the murders? I mean, is there anyone that you have a weird feeling about that the girls knew or that comes to mind?
Yeah, I would say not in the immediate circle by any means, but a few of the names that have been circulating around, I think it's hard not to kind of, dig into this. And I don't know how much of that is just because we have so little information from law enforcement and how much of it really is, a sister or a father's intuition.
Can you elaborate at all? I don't know. You don't have to give a name, but I mean, is it someone that she knew or?
I have something to say about that. I just feel like there's been a couple individuals that were cleared very fast. That may not maybe he shouldn't have been. And yeah.
Share the strong alibi.
Just really fast.
You can dismiss.
An hour later, and we're like, what? And I don't know. I don't know anything about those individuals. I just know they were people that, definitely should have been looked at. And yeah.
I don't know what would prevent you from sharing somebody's alibi.
Okay, so hopefully to rectify the situation for Cherry Piss, who's in Louisiana, there's no public safety concern for Cherry Piss. If you listen to that clip, I think what Steve said is genius. When he says, I don't know why you wouldn't share an alibi. I don't either. I'm also going to asterisk this for Cherry Piss. Sleeping is not an alibi. So when the mom says, there's a couple of people that I think they cleared too fast. Well, who's a couple of people? Then she says, I don't mean people in their inner circle. Okay, so my question is, who's a couple of people that maybe weren't that close to Kaylee and Madison that are acting a little off, that maybe were cleared too early? Cleared, I don't care about. They can be cleared today and in the clink tomorrow. That's just the police telling us, we've already looked into them. Move along. Yeah, I think they might be talking about the roommates. Now, the minute that I say that, we're going to have some people upset thinking I'm trying to blame them. I'm not trying to blame them. That's just who I think they could be talking about. That's what makes sense to me. I call BS. I see your camera on and you're a real person. I will bring you up in just a second. Then we're going to start talking about the Hyundai. Am I saying it right? Is it Hyundai or Hyundai? Hyundai or Hyundai? Hang on. There is the picture. I call BS. Can you hear me? You can turn your camera off, hun. You don't have to have your camera on to come up. This was put out yesterday. As you see the picture up there, there it is. That's not the actual one. Hyundai Elantra. Detectives are interested in speaking with the occupants, could be more than one, of a white 2011 20 to 2013. So it could be 2011. It could be a 2012. It could be a 2013. If you see a 2014 and you were in that area November 13th, don't be shy. Go ahead and tell them. Hyundai Elantra with an unknown license plate. Tips and leads have led investigators to look for additional information about a vehicle being in the immediate area of the King Street residence during the early morning hours of November 13th. Investigators believe the occupants, could be more than one, of this vehicle may have critical information to share regarding this case. So what we have here is a big thing. This is what we have. This is something significant. Somebody has called in a tip that they're very interested in. I put this up yesterday, police boundaries. They want camera surveillance, or they did. They may not want it anymore. They haven't said don't send me anything, so I'm assuming they're still waiting on it. If you see this circle they have right here, they said they were looking for camera surveillance all around this circle. Now, this came out on Friday. Today's Baby Friday, so about 6 days. I'm going to guess in those 6 days, they might have gotten some camera surveillance. Maybe it's from the BodyCam that came out overnight. I don't know. And now they want to talk to occupants of a car that looks very much like this one. I think this is really big. I think this is a really big break in the case, possibly. Let's see what I Call BS has to say. Hello, I Call BS. Love your avatar. You're gorgeous. You're muted. Hello? I'll put her backstage and she can figure out how to get unmuted. All right, so that's a big deal. They're pointing out a car, a particular car. They're even giving us approximate years. If you see, 2011, 2012, that's in the middle, 2013, we need to talk to that person. They might have seen somebody running from the house. They might have picked up somebody running from the house. They might have parked their car down the road and ran to their car after being in the house, if you know what I mean. But for whatever reason, they want to talk to that person. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. She's unmuted. Hello, I call BS. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What do you think about all this that came out yesterday?
I think it's a circus. And I'll just be very blunt. I think they're focusing on the wrong thing right now with this Hyundai Elantra that got thrown into the mix. I think what I'm more focusing on is that light that looks like it's coming from the third story in that house on at 3 a.m. And then it shuts off.
Yep, we're about to get to that.
I'm not worried about the cars. I mean, there's apartments, there's frat house, there's, I think that's a little bit of a deflection.
Well, could be. I mean, but do you think that maybe it makes sense that they put that map out and said, we want camera surveillance from this circle? And then yesterday they say, we want to talk to somebody, whoever was driving this car. Maybe they saw something, or maybe they gave someone a ride.
Okay, so I'm trying to keep up and I can't. But so they're saying that the car was spotted on surveillance on that circle, Kings Road, the circle.
Oh, no. I'm just speculating because I said, do you think it makes sense that they said they want camera surveillance and they put this map up and they said, okay, so like you can see in the left-hand corner at the bottom, it says students murdered. So then they show the Botanical Garden into West Taylor Avenue, down Highway 95. Then it says something River Circle, I think. They want camera surveillance basically from this circle on the screen. And I think they put that out last Friday. Then yesterday they said, if you or anyone you know is driving this car, a 2011 to 2013, we'd like to talk to you. Or if you know anybody that's driving that car.
Okay. I don't know. I think this is getting a little out of hand with all this stuff. It's just getting strange to me. Nothing's adding up.
No, nothing's adding up. Someday it will. I mean, someday we'll know what they've been working on the whole time, and it definitely will. So I'm going to go through the body cam footage, and some people can't see the light. I have this was, Jennifer put this in. Where it's circled, you guys see the red circle, that's where the light supposedly comes on. Jennifer put this in the Facebook group. I don't see a light on, but I'm going to put it on real quick. We're going to go through it a couple of times, actually. First, let me play the news clip. Then I'll put the, I guess, raw footage up. Hang on.
Detectives in Idaho are releasing body camera footage, hoping it can provide new leads in the case of those 4 murdered college students.
Moscow 77.
The videos show officers on patrol in Moscow, Idaho, in the early morning hours of November 13th, around the time investigators believe Zainer Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves were killed in a home near the University of Idaho.
Taking out 21.
Yeah. In one video, officers are seen issuing citations to 3 teens for underage drinking. An apartment complex across the street from the victim's home is visible, just steps away from the officers. Investigators say the people in the videos have been cleared, and the incidents have nothing to do with the murders. But they've released the video, hoping someone familiar with the area is able to spot something, anything out of place.
It can be used from a historic standpoint. That information could potentially become relevant.
Say the people in the videos have been cleared, and the incidents have nothing to do with the murders. But they've released the video, hoping someone familiar with the area is able to spot something, anything out of place.
It can be used.
Well,
Released the video, hoping someone familiar with the area is able to spot something, anything out.
What kind of car is that? There's a white car right there. I can't tell what kind of car that is. Does anybody know what kind of car that is? I'm just looking at tail lights, though.
Place.
It can be used from a historic standpoint. That information could potentially become relevant later in the investigation because you just never know.
It comes as detectives announce they need help locating a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, like this one spotted near the murder scene. Investigators believe the driver or any possible passengers may have critical information to share regarding this case.
That can mean a number of things. It could be that they have eliminated all the cars in the proximity of the victim house. This could be just an elimination. It could be a witness, or it could be a suspect.
Investigators do not have the car's license plate number, and no suspects have been named. Ikajachi.
Okay. Mermaid said it perfectly. I'm getting dizzy. I'm dizzy too. I call BS. It shows your device is not connected if you want to come back up. All right. So that's one clip of it. Now I'm going to play another. And then if I need to slow it down, let me know. If you guys followed me during the Kylie Rodney case when the fire cam video came out, I was the one saying over and over, look, I believe you, but I can't make out a car. All I'm making out is reflections and lights. So we're going to need some teamwork here.
Okay, is everybody gonna stop back there?
Yeah. We stopped talking to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, I yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
What the hell did I just watch? Okay, so over in the corner, you see a light come on. Some people say that is an apartment building. Some people say they're turning the light off. Some people say they're turning the light on at the house. What is your opinion? Are they turning the light on, off, and is it at the house? Or is it at the apartment? I don't know the area. I've never been to Moscow. Hang on. Happy August said yes, Brooks. We're going to look at it again. Hang on. Marco said the way far right went off on the top floor of the murder house 100%. Daylight. Love your avatar, by the way. It's at the house, window lights out at 2 a.m. Well, this body cam is at 3 a.m. So somebody turned the lights off on the third floor, is what you're saying. Now, that's huge. Let me see if I can make it out. Give me a second.
Okay, is everybody gonna stop back there?
Yeah. We saw him talking to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, I yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
Heather Ann says the light doesn't just go out, it fades. See, we're all seeing different things. Let me put it on and I'm going to slow it down.
Yeah. We sound talk to him, so we didn't know.
Okay, I yelled at you guys and then turned around because he walked up on him. I yelled at you guys, you didn't stop.
No, I did not hear you.
Right, well, let's walk back over here, okay?
Sure.
Me too, mermaid. This is freaking me out. This is too eerie for me. All right, so now I'm looking. Do I need to slow it down more? Marco said, well, the light fades out like someone pulled the curtains or knocked it on the floor. You saw it, Jeannie? Let me go back. Okay, I just saw it. Is it right there? Is that what you're talking about right here? Yep, I got to back it up again. Is it right there? I call BS. You can turn your camera off, hun. It's at the top right of the screen. Can you guys see my mouse? Is it right there? Okay, I just paused it right there. I see a light coming on. Wow. And then it fades out. Yep. Yep, it just went off. To me, it's like somebody turns the light on, it goes off. I don't think somebody turned it off. It doesn't look like it to me. And there it turns off. Woo! It's not a car. It's too far up in the horizon to me to be a car. Christopher said it flashes back on, it's a car. Let's do a poll. Okay, that's the best way. Do you think this is one of the bedrooms of the house where a light turns on and turns off, or do you think it's a car? Is it house or car? I'll make it that simple. To me, it's too high up to be a car. Sweet and Lit Wicked said flashlight, maybe. All Things Silver said car. V says house. Let's look at it again. So it's going to be on your right. You're just going to see a flash of light and off. It's not like really bright. There it is. It's like somebody goes into a room, turns the light on, and turns the light off. So if it is what a lot of people think, and that this is third floor of the house, it could be Madison or Kaylee turning the light on, turning it off to go back to bed, to get up to get something, or they're thinking it's the killer going in the bedroom, turning the light on to make sure his target's in there. Shooter said, Brooks, it's car lights. Oh, man. Some people think it's at the apartments. Has anybody been to this town and like drove around it? Any locals here? I mean, is there like a hill coming down? Corey says I'm lost. Here, I'll go back so you can see it. I've got it at 1 minute, 3 seconds. It's going to be on the right side. You see someone turn a light on and the light goes off. The reason I don't think it's a car is because I'm just seeing one light. I'm not seeing headlights. Yeah, DB, that's definitely got me confused too. Body cam talking to the boys shows a timestamp before 3 a.m., but the 911 call was at 3:01 a.m. I call BS says, well, what time was the white car seen? The police didn't let that out. The police just said if anybody saw that car November 13th or the days leading up to November 13th, to let them know. They want to talk to whoever's driving it. They didn't say what time. It's if you saw it on November 13th or days leading up to it. They don't say what time. I don't know. I'm cross-eyed now. Marco said, just use a ruler and scale up the apartment. It's Maddie's bedroom window. Watch on a big screen. Phew. Just a YouTuber thinks it's a flashlight. Well, we'll figure it out. I'm really not sure why this was released yesterday. I'm really not sure. I'm going to look at it back to back. I'll look at daytime and nighttime. So that way I can see if there's a hill or if it's truly the house. Hell if I know. Let me look at this. Maybe this will help me.
Detectives in Idaho are releasing body camera footage, hoping it can provide new leads in the case of those 4 murdered college students.
Moscow 37.
The videos show officers on patrol in Moscow, Idaho, in the early morning hours of November 13th, around the time investigators believe Zaina Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves were killed in a home near the University of Idaho.
Taking out 21? Yeah.
In one video, officers are seen issuing citations to 3 teens for underage drinking. An apartment complex across the street from the victim's home is visible, just steps away from the officers. Investigators say the people in the videos have been cleared, and the incidents have nothing to do with the murders. But they released the video hoping someone familiar with the area is able to spot anything out of place.
It can be used from a historic standpoint. That information could potentially become relevant later in the investigation because you just never know.
It comes as detectives announce they need help locating a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, like this one spotted near the murder scene. Investigators believe the driver or any possible passengers may have critical information to share regarding this case.
That can mean a number of things. It could be that they have eliminated all the cars in the proximity of the victim house. This could be just an elimination, it could be a witness, or it could be a suspect.
Investigators do not have the car's license plate number.
I'm about to piss myself. Summer Thunder said it's Brian Enton outside with a flashlight. If this was the Delphi case, I'd be like, no worries. It's just the murder sheet creeping in windows. True. Ryan said, I think the murders were after this incident. Yeah, they were. So the body cam shows it's like, what, 2:55, 2:56 a.m. They say the murders are between 3 and 4 in the morning. So if you see a light come on at the house around this time, well, it tells you somebody was alive in the house, and it could be the killer in one of the rooms. That's what people are saying. We've been wondering. Kaylee and Madison both have long blonde hair. They're in the same bed. How would you know who is who? Well, if somebody went in there and turned the light on, then that's how you would know. I missed a comment. Hang on. Alicia said something. Take that down. Alicia said it's the street that leads to that lot is where that car turns onto. So you're saying it's a car. Some people are saying it's a house. Some people are saying it's in a room, but it's the apartments. I don't know. No, I don't see a killer. I don't see anything. I'm just going off of what other people are saying. Everybody has a theory on this. That's all I'm saying. But the police are saying they're putting out the body cam. Maybe it will jar someone's memory. They also want to know if anyone on the 13th or days leading up to it saw a car that would resemble this one. They didn't just say a white compact car or a white small car or a white four-door. They're being pretty specific. They're looking for the driver, occupant, you name it, whatever, of a 2011 to 2013 Elantra. That's what they're looking for. Okay, also, they got a lot of belongings out of the house yesterday. Good, good. Seems like we have a lot of movement on the case that we didn't have before. And I attribute that to probably Steve being upset over the weekend. I think that is part of it. I think the chief himself going to the house and getting belongings out of the kids to get it to the families, I think in part could be because they're done processing the house, but also I think they know that they have somehow upset at least one family member. So let's look at that.
Police also started removing some of the victims' personal belongings from the crime scene. Moscow police say the families have been asking for some of those items back, and investigators say they're things that are no longer needed for their investigation.
News Amanda Rowley joining us live from the house tonight with what law enforcement said is the next step in this investigation. Amanda?
Yeah, well, the Moscow Police Department sends out daily updates on this murder investigation. Most of the time, it focuses on addressing rumors surrounding this case. But today's update was the first descriptive tip that they've released in several days. Detectives are now asking to speak with anyone who was inside a white Hyundai Elantra that was near this home on King Road on November 13th. They believe the people in that car may have critical information regarding this case. Meanwhile, I've been at this house all day today. Early this morning, I watched as Moscow police officers boxed up personal belongings and loaded up a U-Haul to return the items that belong to those students back to their families. At the request of the students' families, Moscow police collected their personal belongings from the home on King Road. Chief James Fry says it was important for him to personally be there with his officers, help.
Dude, they didn't call a moving company. They're doing it themselves. Not that I would think that they would let two men in a truck come to a crime scene, but still, they're moving with a purpose. And that slope coming from the house to the U-Haul looks slicker than shit. I'm really surprised they did this. The police used a U-Haul, yeah. And I want to look at this comment by No Chains, said, it would have been freezing in there and not waking up the roommates. I have often wondered about that because it was said very early on. I think we discussed it on the very first show I did about this case weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, when they said that the door was ajar. And I'm like, explain ajar. Then they said, well, a neighbor saw the door open. Then it was, oh, no, that's just a rumor. The neighbor didn't say anything. Well, the neighbor spoke out again yesterday and said the door was wide open. So my question is, how the hell did that 25-degree weather not wake somebody up? Of course, you're talking about me here who doesn't like socks. Some people like to sleep in the cold. But the front door was open. We talked about it the first week. And it was like, no, that's stupid. That's a rumor. He came through the sliding door. He could have been. He could have come through the sliding door and he could have left through the front door in a damn hurry to get in a white Elantra. and get the hell out of Dodge. But if the door was left open, I understand that the victims wouldn't have been awoken from this, but I would think the front door would definitely wake up the girls that were sleeping. It's 25 degrees. Arlene said, Brooks, remember the night of the murders? It was icy outside, slick sidewalks and streets. And cold. And cold. Drucifer said, could have left doors open to mess with body temps, time of death. Oh, God. Just speaking for myself, when it gets cold, I wake up.
Box up these items so they could, in a sense, be there for the family and give them back the items that might help them heal. The chief himself drove the U-Haul into the driveway. Police officers arrived early in the morning to pack up the students' things. By noon, they finished loading the boxes onto the truck. This is not something police typically do, but Idaho State Police spokesperson Aaron Snell says in this case, it was appropriate.
We've had the crime scene for quite some time, and the family would like back some of those belongings. There's undoubtedly some sentimental issues, and I think it will help with a little bit of the healing, and we want to be part of that process. We want to help them. We don't want to keep holding on to items that really aren't needed for the investigation.
This afternoon, Moscow PD shared a major new development in the investigation. They want to speak with anyone who was inside the white Hyundai Elantra with an unknown license plate that was near the King Road home on November 13th. The department shared these images of the car they're looking for. Detectives believe the people in that car may have critical information to share regarding this case. Investigators are asking the public to use the tip line with information about the people who may have driven this car leading up to or following the day of the murders.
And today, there was no sign of any immediate family members of the students who lived here at this home on King Road. But we do know the U-Haul that was loaded up with the students' personal belongings have been taken to a secure location. And Moscow PD is currently communicating with the family to return those items to them. Mark, Whitney.
Amanda, thank you very much. You've also covered crime in our region for quite a long time right now. Have you ever seen police make such an effort to give belongings back to families?
I haven't. In the 5 years I've covered crime in the Inland Northwest, I've never seen that, but I've also never seen a crime scene held this long in the hands of investigators.
Oh, look at her. She's shaking her head like she can't get it out fast enough. She's like, hell no. Hell no, I've never seen them moving furniture and boxing stuff up and carrying golf clubs out in the ice and snow. And they're going to an unsecured location then to give to the families. So they're not going to get the personal belongings back. I'm being honest here. I'm being honest. I'm surprised they're getting anything out of that house at all. I'm surprised they're getting anything out of this at all. Now, where is the secure location? What is that all about? Why don't the items just go straight back to the families? I don't know. I don't know. I've certainly never seen it put on the news for everyone to have eyes on. Look at this. The police themselves are going into the house. They've got everything inventoried. Now, I think the police have other stuff to be doing. So this is to send a message. We're doing what the families want. That's just my opinion, because I have followed crime for a long, 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 long time. And I've never seen the police boxing up victims' items. And the local news out there to show them putting stuff in the back of a damn U-Haul. It's a PR move. Sorry. Not saying that they don't care about the case. I'm not saying that they don't care about the families. I'm not saying that they're not wanting to do the right thing or anything like that. When you guys have been following crime more than a minute, when have we ever on this channel ever had a local news station with the police boxing up victims' items and putting them in the back of a U-Haul to get back to the families? We've never seen that before. This is a PR stunt. They were called out by Nancy Grace herself. She's on Inside Edition, and she said, you need to coddle this family. She said soup to nuts is what she said. You need to find a happy medium, and you need to make sure this family knows you're on their side 100%. No, you do not show them the case file. No, you do not tell them what you're working on. Nothing like that. Well, Sarah said the mayor. I'm surprised Mr. Crime of Passion himself wasn't there. I'm really surprised the soap opera lover himself, Mr. Crime of Passion, mayor of Crime of Passion, was not there. Then I'm wondering what the hell was Jeremy thinking. I'm surprised Jeremy wasn't over there helping him. I'm surprised Jeremy wasn't in the middle saying, well, you know, I gave you guys my DNA, so while I'm here and we're waiting on to get the results back, let me help you guys box this stuff up. Good old Jeremy Sue. I am really surprised Jeremy Sue wasn't over there helping him box this up.
And it really just speaks to the complexity and uniqueness of this case. But I also think it speaks to really the connection the city of Moscow has with University of Idaho and its student body. They've taken this time to really take that extra step to try and give some peace of mind to these families in any way they can. Amanda Rowley, Crime 2 News.
I don't want to say it's not genuine. I don't want to say that at all, and I don't think it's not genuine. Never seen it before. Never seen it, and damn sure never seen it broadcasts everywhere. Never seen it like that. Especially when they're talking about these officers saying that this is the most gruesome crime scene they've ever seen. I don't know. Just seems odd to me. Just seems a little odd to me. Okay, a lot of you reached out after the show yesterday, and we were talking more about the president of the fraternity. I don't know why that rubs me the wrong way, that Brian Enton acted like he got a interview with the actual president. I mean, he caught the kid coming out the door to go to class, okay? And we got to talk with the president. Well, you've been stalking this kid. That's how you know who the president of the fraternity is. So we're going to go back through that, because the more I look at it, and I watched the president a few more times yesterday, him having to get to class, probably sits right next to Jeremy. Jeremy's probably the one in charge of attendance or something. And gotta be there, gotta be at class, you know. Young minds. But it's not so much that he's just trying to get the hell away from Brian Enton. I would run faster from the murder sheet. If I saw those two people in my neighborhood, I'd move. I'd just get I would never go back home. But Brian Enton, he's kind of getting there. So he can't get away from him fast enough. But I want to watch this again. Watch him on his phone. He's texting like crazy. He wants someone to know that he has been cornered by the media. What do I do? What do I say? He acts beyond uncomfortable. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying we need to look into the president. Don't even want to say his name on here, anything like that. I don't want to look at his social media. I don't think he has anything to do with this crime, except he just has to be in class in 15 minutes. That's really all that's not a crime. But he looks intimidated. I think it's more than trying to get away from News Nation. I know that a few things were going around yesterday, and it was like, well, if you look at his social media, he's a hunter. You know, this is something new for me. I did not realize that people were that taken aback that people hunt. And like I said, between you and me, if you guys have any profile pictures where you're holding up a fish or you've got anything public where you were at deer camp or anything, you might want to not make it public. Hunting's a big thing, at least where I come from. So this kid does not want to talk to Brian Enton. I'm just wondering why he's so intimidated. I don't know if it's somebody higher up in the fraternity saying that we want to make sure our fraternity is in no way, shape, or form associated with this. Or it could even be, let's say, the dean saying, if you see any media, don't talk to them at all. But he seems more intimidated than anything. And I feel bad for the kid. I do, but I want to go through this again. Because if he really wanted to talk to Brian Enton and if he really wanted to be on the news, kind of like Jeremy Sue, DNA Jeremy, class would have waited. He would have skipped class. But he got the hell away from him.
In the timeline, the night that 4 students were stabbed to death as the investigation continues in Moscow, Idaho. Now, part of that timeline includes a party at a fraternity house where investigators believe Xana and Ethan were at some point before they returned home. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton is live in Moscow. And Brian, you spoke with the president of the Sigma Chi fraternity house.
Yeah, Nicole, this was our very first time speaking with the president of that fraternity. You know, they've really been under the microscope because we know 2 of the victims were at that fraternity house a short time before the murders. The president says they are fully cooperating with the police. The flag is at half-staff at the University of Idaho Sigma Chi fraternity house, the last place victims Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin were seen alive, according to police. For the first time, we are hearing from the fraternity's president.
I knew them. Ethan was always in the house. Xana was a good friend before Ethan even came up. But that's all I really want to talk about right now because I actually have class here in like 15 minutes.
Sigma Chi President Reed.
Sigma Chi President Reed, I think he called him. He's calling President Reed. I'm feeling bad for the kid. I think someone has intimidated him. I think this fraternity is afraid of getting shut down on the national level. These fraternities stick together way beyond college. Way beyond college. He's extremely uncomfortable. And like I said, I believe he's intimidated. And not by Puff Jacket Brian Enton. That Patagonia jacket is not what's intimidating him. He is intimidated. Someone has told him not to talk to the media. Don't talk to anyone. He can't get away from him fast enough. Look at him. I've got class in 15 minutes. He's trying to get the hell away, and he's looking around after he texts like he's waiting for someone to come up and save him. And I don't think he realizes what he says because he talks about cameras and he mentions Xana. So let's listen to this.
First time, we are hearing from the fraternity's president.
I knew them. Ethan was always in the house. Xana was a good friend before Ethan even came up. But that's all I really want to talk about right now because I actually have class here before.
Okay, there. So we can be clear because this was a lot of the comments and a lot of the emails yesterday. He said, I knew them. Ethan was always in the house. Xana was a good friend before Ethan even came up. Who was Xana hanging out with at the frat house before Ethan came up? Xana wasn't a member of the fraternity. So I wonder who was her connection to the fraternity. Xana was a good friend before Ethan came up. Hello, Lady Butterfly. He is looking around. He's nervous. And remember, there's no cameras there. Guys, there's no cameras there. He says it himself. There's no cameras. We have no cameras on the property. Why is he so nervous? Who is he afraid is going to see him talking to Mr. Patagonia Jacket? Marco, this right here. Marco, I gave a kid a job only because he was in my frat. That's how it works. They're very, very, very loyal, connected. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You got a job for life if you've been in some of these fraternities. They help you through your entire life. Celine says, why are you reading so much into this? Because I think that this kid has been intimidated not to talk. That's why. He's not freely speaking. He acts nervous. He's looking around. He's looking over his shoulder. He doesn't need to check his class schedule. He's on his phone hoping somebody comes up, is what I'm thinking. He seems nervous. He seems intimidated.
Ethan even came up. But that's all I really want to talk about right now because I actually have class here in like 15 minutes.
Sigma Chi President Reed Offson says the fraternity is cooperating with the investigation. The fraternity is about half a block from the house where the murders happened.
Does anyone know where they were during that timeline? Like, there's still this big chunk where...
As of right now, we've told Moscow PD, Idaho State Police, and the FBI all we know. We're kind of leaving it up to them to piece it together. Obviously, we don't have the utilities or resources to do it on our own, so we're just running full faith in officers and the detectives doing it. But that's all I really know right now.
Are there any cameras around? Moscow police say they're investigating the time frame between 9 p.m. the night before the murders on November 12th and 1:45 a.m. when Ethan and Xana were believed to be at the Sigma Chi house. Meanwhile, detectives are not commenting on whether or not they are making significant progress in the case, only saying they have no suspects identified and will not release information at the risk of compromising the investigation. And we have learned that starting tomorrow, police will go into the house behind me, which is still a crime scene.
Okay, well, they went into the house. So this, of course, is previous. They already went into the house, boxed up their stuff, golf clubs, suitcases, put it in the back of the U-Haul. Celine said that's because the frats and sororities have been told not to talk. Yeah, that's the point, Celine. The kid seems intimidated. I think it's beyond just not talking. He seems nervous. He seems intimidated. I'm surprised he didn't just run. I think when you have the dean of the school who's got immense pressure on him, we're forgetting about a major university. I'm not saying it's Harvard or anything. You've got money allotted to that school. That school has got to have asses in the seats. Right now, we've got a big problem because there's a lot of kids that might be wanting to transfer out, which means they take their Sally Mae and their FAFSA money with them. That money won't be used at the school anymore. Or they're not applying at all. So FAFSA and Sally Mae, which is a huge business, is not allocating that money to the University of Idaho. I think this kid has a lot of pressure on him. I think he's been intimidated. Don't say anything to the press. Don't say anything. Do not associate this Fraternity with what happened. Kashmir, I didn't say there's anything suspicious about it. Before I even played this, I said, I don't think this kid is suspicious. I don't think he has anything to do with the murders or anything. I do think it's odd that he is so nervous. Like he's going to get in trouble if he says something. And I'm sure when the young adult, early 20s, whatever his age is, I'm sure once this hit News Nation, somebody probably grabbed his ass and said, you just told him we don't have any cameras on the property. What part of you've got to be in class and you're not going to talk to them did you not get? It's really odd that they're even letting anybody on the property. I'm surprised they didn't figure out a way to keep him off. Me personally. Summer Thunder said the almighty dollar has a lot to do with his reaction. Stillwater says it's all about the money always. Universities are huge, huge business. And when you think about that, it's been frowned upon. From what I'm understanding, unless something's changed overnight, there's no billboards or anything like that. Somebody was caught around town taking down the posters that have the tip line on it. I think that has to do with bad PR for the university. Just my opinion. I think that has to do, they don't want they don't want a connection to this university. And I'm not saying it is connected with the university, but people are going to make that association. And considering there's not a suspect, there's not anybody in jail, there's a lot of parents that are going to say, we've got to get you transferred to another university. Or don't fill out that application too quick because I don't think it's safe for you to go there. That's money. That's money. DeBee said university is helping to spin the story online. Yep. Yep. Because that was one thing Steve said, you don't want tip lines hanging around, posters up, however he phrased it, when you're doing rush week. He didn't just say students coming to visit or student week or parent week. He said rush week. That's sorority. That's fraternity. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm going to put the link up again if anybody wants to come up and chat. And if not, I got to get on and do a few things. We have another show today at 2 p.m. It's an update on another quadruple murder, this one out of Oklahoma. Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Did I post that right? Yep, there it is. Joe Kennedy was actually charged in all 4 murders. And I have a guest coming on with me today to go through that. I know, Slim. Slim said, I don't think it's chips. Sounds like Brooks's mouse to me. Yep. It's my mouse. If I plug in my other microphone, then you don't hear it. And I meant to do that before the show. I'll do that before the next show. And because I thought that the microphone was the reason for the audio problem at the beginning of the show, but it turned out it's a lag between StreamYard and YouTube. That's what it is. That's what it is. Figured it out. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. But you guys are the absolute best chat and best community on YouTube. Not everybody can come into a live chat and have these conversations and not just lose their mind, get triggered, say, oh, you can't talk about that. You can't say that. You guys aren't like that. We're cool with each other. And even if we don't see the same thing on the screen, we still walk away friends. So I'll see you guys back here at 2 o'clock Central Time. If I miss you at 2 o'clock, hopefully I see you over in Discord or one of the Facebook groups. If I miss you in one of those places, then I'll see you back here at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. I mean what I say. You're the absolute best.